Hi guys, today I am going to review the OnePlus Nord 6. Just leave everything aside and watch the full video. Forget about the algorithm. By the end of the video, you will know whether the device is for you or not. I will be covering everything about the device, its display, 9000 mAh battery, 8 Gen 4 chip, real world performance, gaming and camera. So let's get started. Starting with the design, the Nord 6 design is clean and subtle, with a squarish camera deco on the rear side, and its design and form factor resembles to OnePlus 15. In my opinion, OnePlus should have gone with the same design as its predecessor Nord 5. The Nord 5 which I like more. By the way, design is subjective. Nord 6 build quality feels solid in hand. It feels little broad like the OnePlus 15, but it doesn't feel hefty during usage despite having a 9000 mAh battery. It comes with a plastic frame and a plastic bag. The device fits well in hand with good grip. It doesn't catch dirt or fingerprint smudges on the rear side easily, but it will when you use it with a wet hands. It is 8.5 mm thick and weighs 217 grams. Weight distribution is maintained well. It feels like you are using just another device in terms of weight. It comes with IP68, IP69 and IP69K rated water and dust resistance. Talking about the display, the Nord 6 comes with a 6.79 inches display that is fairly bright outdoors and easily visible under direct sunlight. It has an optical in-display fingerprint sensor which is not ideally placed for convenience. It is placed a little low, although it works fast and reliably even with wet hands. Watching content on the Nord 6 is a fabulous experience. Wildlife and nature scenes feels like a real life experience. The display is quite good and the colors are punchier and with deep blacks. The device is usable with one hand for some simpler tasks, but it's not easy to reach the corners of device with one hand. It also supports wideband L1 and HDR support on Netflix, and it can easily play 4K HDR videos on YouTube. It has an LTPS panel and the refresh rate fluctuates between 120Hz, 90Hz and 60Hz. On the front side display you will get the OnePlus own Crystal Guard glass display protection. Although it's glass and it's always breakable, so using a cover is recommended. Now let's talk about the audio haptics and connectivity. The Nord 6 is equipped with dual stereo speakers, one at the bottom and one speaker gate at the top, which gives good sound output and rich bass with clear and crisp vocals. You can listen the samples as well.
Just before gravity takes hold, scattering chaos to the floor.
And you will enjoy it while listening to music or watching content on it. You can also boost audio to 300%, but the sound will distort at the high volume. Sound quality with earbuds is also great with rich bass and crisp sound. The OnePlus 6 features a O dialer and which offers AI features such as AI call and summarize call, translate calls, etc. Call quality is excellent. The mic and speaker works well, and it also comes with noise cancellation support during calls and audio recording. The device supports Vo 5G VoNR. It supports 2 nano SIMs and there is no eSIM and no SD card slot. So consider it while you buying it. The haptics on the Nord 6 are really good for the price and delivers good vibration feedback. And it's integrated well into the UI. It works well while increasing or decreasing volume and brightness. An IR blaster is present on the top and it works fine. Now let's talk about the connectivity. I have tested Jio 5G on the Nord 6 which works perfectly outdoors and indoors as well. Call quality also works fine with clear voice and sound. Nord 6 comes with dedicated Wi-Fi G2 chip for improved Wi-Fi connectivity with Wi-Fi 7, NFC is there, Bluetooth version 6.0, LHDC 5.0 support and 11 5G bands. Now let's talk about the software. OxygenOS 16 out of the box with Android 16, which is fluid and smooth. The UI experience on Nord 6 is buttery smooth and fluid, and considering it's a mid-range device, it feels like a flagship because of its smoothness in the UI. I didn't find any lags or stutters in the UI. App switching, app closing and animations all work smoothly. Only 4 bloatware apps: Instagram, Netflix, LinkedIn and Facebook, which you can install them easily. The Nord 6 comes with Android 16 out of the box and will receive 4 years of Android updates and 6 years of security updates. Always on display is not always on because it lights up around 5 seconds. After the 5 seconds, it just turned off. Don't know why. The seamless experience is not there in Nord 6 and not full screen always on display. It's just a tiny always on display and that's turned off after 5 seconds. So that's a bad thing, I think. OnePlus should fix it with update. Additional features like the plus key, a single key, click or press. The plus key is a single click or press and hold key that customize. You can select a variety of features like sound, vibration, camera, and translate, torch, and screen on, and much more things like that. And the mind space, which captures screen's content and save it to the memory, including the image and text. You can then search for specific things from the mind space search bar, which is very handy. The new beta now supports multiple Indian languages and much more languages as well. There are several AI features as well, such as AI voice scribe, AI translation, AI reframe, and circle to search. Much more to talk about. Now let's talk about the performance and benchmark. Not all the benchmarks were conducted at room temperature without AC. Node 6 is equipped with Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 processor, 4nm chipset with Adreno 825 GPU, LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4 storage. Pretty good. The device scores 2.35 million in Antutu, reaching around 39 degrees temperature and consuming around 5% battery. During a 30 minutes throttling test, the device throttles to 76%. The Geekbench CPU single core scores around 2100, in multi-core 6700. The Geekbench GPU scores around 13,000. The AI scores Antutu AI scores 1.3 million, AI LLM benchmarks 500k. In the 3D stress tests 20 minutes each, here the things get heavy. Look, these 3D mark scores are really impressive and stable, which reflects in real life as well. While playing games or doing heavy tasks, it performs well. The maximum temperature the device reached after these extreme tests was around 45 degrees, and in currently scenario when the temperature was 42 degrees, it's reaching easily around 47 to 48 degrees, which is pretty good despite having the heat, which is acceptable and good because these tests demand more power and hardware output. RAM management is also good. It keeps apps in the background even when you push it with 10 to 12 apps in the background. Everything remains pretty well in the memory. The Node 6 in terms of performance is a huge upgrade over the Node 5's performance. You can clearly see it. Okay, now let's put some light on the gaming. Not all the gaming was done in an air-conditioned room in normal mode without performance mode on. During 3 hours of continuous gaming at the highest setting available for games like PUBG, BGMI for 1 hour, Genshin Impact for 1 hour, Wuthering Waves for 30 minutes and COD Mobile 30 minutes. 3 hours complete, the device reached 37 degree maximum temperature and the battery dropped by 35%, which is really good considering the games and power required to run them smoothly. While these gaming test was done around 7 April, so you can accept 37 degrees to like 40 degrees in the air conditioned room and battery drain from 35% to around 37 or 38% for 3 hours of continuous gaming because now heat is getting up. I have also played in a non-air conditioned room back in when device launched for 2 hours and the maximum temperature it reached was 43 degrees and the battery drop was around 32% in 2 hours, which is a bit high because of no air conditioned room and heat is up. And now after the heat is getting up around 42 degrees temperature, you can expect it will go around 47 degrees maximum temperature without an AC room and the battery drain was around 35 degrees in 2 hours. Gameplay was smooth and stable with no major frame drops. However, if you play heavy games like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact for a long time, there are minor jitters and stutters, which is normal, and Node 6 is doing really better in heavy games compared to its predecessor Node 5. In other games like BGMI and Call of Duty, there are no stutters or lags. The device handles these games with stability and smoothness, and it has a dedicated touch reflex chip which enhances the touch response in shooting games and gives you advantage over other players to get easy kills. And I have also experienced it while shooting. Highest setting available for games like PUBG. Maximum graphics you will get at Ultra HDR plus Ultra, 40 FPS natively, and you can frame interpolate it to 80 FPS as well. Maximum frame rates you will get plus Ultra Extreme plus 120 FPS natively, and with frame interpolation you will go to 165 FPS. That's crazy. In the Call of Duty you will get max graphics, max plus max 60 FPS natively, and 120 FPS with frame interpolation. Max frame rate you will get medium plus ultra, 165 Hz natively in the multiplayer mode, and 90 FPS in the battle royale mode natively, and 165 FPS with frame interpolation. Don't know why the COD mobile is not going to 165 FPS battle royale mode natively. This is same thing happened with OnePlus 15R. It stuck to 90 FPS in battle royale mode natively. But with frame interpolation, you can easily go to 165 FPS. That's pretty well. In the Wuthering Waves max graphics, you will get quality plus resolution high 30 fps natively. Max frame rates you will get custom resolution ultra high 60 fps natively. In the Genshin Impact, max graphics you will get highest 30 fps natively and 60 fps with frame interpolation. In Genshin Impact, you will get 60 fps max graphics with frame interpolation, and max frame rate you will get custom 60 fps natively and 90 fps with frame interpolation. That's pretty cool. The Nord 6 gaming experience has really improved over the Nord 5 drastically. It can do 165 fps gaming natively in COD mobile in multiplayer mode with really good stability, maintaining around 160 fps in 30 minutes of gameplay, and it does the same in PUBG BGMI with no major lags and stutters. Thermals are in control as of now, and the heat is going up around 42 degrees, and you will get around 48 degrees of heating in the device, which is I think normal because the room temperature is already around 42 degrees. I will talking about the 48 degrees without AC. If you play in AC, you will get around 41 to 42 degrees maximum while playing games continuously for 2 hours. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, 9000 mAh battery. It has a 9000 mAh with 80 watt wired charging. There is no wireless charging support, but it supports bypass charging, which will help you while gaming, and 27 watt reverse wired charging. It fully charges the device from 1% to 100% in 1 hour 25 minutes, and it gives me around 13 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time on all 5G usage during 2 days of moderate usage. There is 1% idle drain overnight with mobile data turned off, which is quite good. Battery usage during the device is 2 hours of heavy gaming, 4 hours of Hotstar, 2 hours 30 minutes of YouTube, around 2 hours of Twitter, 1 hour 45 minutes of Instagram Reels scrolling, and the remaining 1 hour 15 minutes on apps like Camera, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, Google, etc. The OnePlus Nord 6 can easily deliver around 2 days of battery life on 5G normal usage, but considering that in heavy tasks and heavy gaming without AC, the battery drains quickly in hot weather. The camera bump of the device is not that big, so while placing on the table, the device won't wobble at much. Now let's talk about the cameras, which is a very controversial part. The Nord 6 comes with a dual cameras on the rear side with 50 megapixel main sensor and an 8 megapixel ultra wide with 32 MP selfie cam on the front with multi-focus. The Nord 6 clicks slightly refined skin tones and slightly saturated colors in the image with the main sensor, but not as close to natural like the earlier OnePlus devices. However, it looks pleasing and not that much oversaturated. The ultra-wide sensor is doing good for the price. Portrait shots are also doing good with good edge detection. The main sensor delivers great image with good focus, and dynamic range is also improved, but details are less compared to earlier devices. With camera features like long exposure shots, slow motion video, panorama mode, time lapse, and more. There is no telephoto lens, so pictures up to 3.5x zoom are good with some details and usable for social media. But at the 5x, it's just okay and details are less. Beyond 5x, the picture quality starts to degrade drastically with fewer details and more grains. The selfie cam clicks good pictures with details and slightly beautified skin tones. Portraits in selfie are also good with better edge detection, maintaining better white and light balancing in the background, and focus is also good. The Nord 6 low light pictures are average. With night modes, it adds some light in the scene, but details are not that much there, and there is some grain in the night pictures as well. With and without OIS stability. OnePlus after the update removed the option to record from the ultra wide camera, but earlier it was recording FHD plus 30 fps. It was delivering an average output, but don't know why OnePlus removed the ultra wide camera recording. In the selfie cam you can record up to 4K 30 fps recording without stability and FHD plus 30 fps with stability. This video is now recording at 4K 60 fps without stabilization. This video is now recorded at 4K 60 fps with OIS support. Nord 6 ticks all the boxes in the mid-range department like the display, performance, gaming, haptics and sound and connectivity. It's doing pretty good job, but the camera is not a standout feature of the device. However, the camera performs above average in this price range. You can expect around 7 out of 10 in the camera department and does the job easily. Pictures look good and pleasing and social media ready. Nord 6 is just like another all-rounder upgrade over the Nord 5. About whether you should go for the Nord 6 or not. I think you are a heavy gamer and performance-centric user, so you should definitely go with the Nord 6 in this price range. But if you are like a camera-centric user, you use a lot of camera, takes pictures, so this device might not be right for you. You can look for other options. Otherwise, it's an all-rounder device except the camera. So that's it for the video. I hope this video will help you in making a decision while viewing a device now in this price hike era. So I hope you will like the video and share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. You can ask any queries, I will reply to it definitely. So what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. Bro, please like, share, subscribe and comment your query because that motivates me to make more videos like this. I'm doing it for you guys. Just hit the subscribe button, like the video and share it with your friends. Don't watch, just subscribe. Hit the subscribe. I'm waiting. Hit the subscribe button, bro. So bye, that's it.